Welcome to AI Artistry Lab, where we embark on a captivating journey where the realms of technology and creativity seamlessly entwine. Accompany me on this exploration into the depths of artificial intelligence and its unbounded artistic capability. In this chapter, we will be examining China's groundbreaking generative AI regulations and unraveling their potential impact on creative industries. Generative AI services, still in their early stages of development, have the power to redefine how we create and consume media. While China leads in their development, concerns about misinformation and copyright infringement have prompted the government to roll out unprecedented regulations. Let's dive in. China stands at the forefront of global artificial intelligence development and utilization. However, recognizing the potential risks associated with AI, the Chinese government has proactively taken measures to regulate this rapidly advancing technology. Their commitment to regulation is not recent. In 2017, China unveiled its new generation artificial intelligence development plan, envisioning the nation as a global AI leader by 2030. The plan, while ambitious, also acknowledged the potential drawbacks of artificial intelligence, including concerns about job displacement, social unrest, and the development of autonomous weapons. Taking a step further, in 2019, the Chinese government introduced the Cybersecurity Law, a comprehensive regulation with the aim of increasing data protection, data localization, and cybersecurity. This law, the first of its kind in China, contains provisions relevant to artificial intelligence, such as mandates for companies to authenticate user identities and safeguard consumer data. The most recent development occurred in July 2023, when the Cyberspace Administration of China released interim measures specifically targeting generative AI services. These procedures are a response to concerns regarding misinformation and the protection of intellectual property associated with generative AI. Under these regulations, service providers are required to obtain a government license. To ensure security, providers must implement procedures preventing the dissemination of misinformation and protecting intellectual property rights. This move reflects the government's commitment to fostering a secure and ethical AI ecosystem. China's proactive approach to AI regulation demonstrates a balancing act, aiming to harness the benefits of artificial intelligence while mitigating potential risks. This ongoing effort aligns with the nation's broader strategy to position itself as a global leader in AI. If you're enjoying this video so far, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. We're always putting out new content on a variety of topics, and we'd love for you to be a part of our community. What's involved in the new rules? The new rules introduced by the Cyberspace Administration of China encompass a diverse array of crucial topics. First is the matter of data security. Under the regulations, generative AI services are obligated to adhere to China's stringent data privacy laws. This mandates companies to transparently and ethically collect and use consumer data. Next, the regulations address issues of content moderation. Service providers are tasked with filtering out content deemed illegal or harmful. This includes content that touches on politically sensitive issues or promotes violence, pornography, or gambling. Transparency is also a question addressed within the guidelines. Platforms are required to openly communicate with users about their operational processes and the utilization of user data. This promotes candidness from companies and informs users about how personal information is being handled. Finally, there is discussion regarding accountability. Service providers bear the responsibility for the content generated by their services. This accountability ensures that companies are held responsible for any content that may breach legal or ethical standards. These comprehensive standards underscore the Chinese government's commitment to fostering a secure, open, and responsible environment in the realm of generative AI. These rules aim to find the balance between technological innovation, ethical considerations, and legal compliance. The interim measures introduced by the Chinese government to regulate generative AI services mark a significant milestone for several reasons. These measures are pioneering and stand as the first comprehensive regulations of their kind globally. No other country has yet implemented such extensive guidelines specifically tailored for generative AI services. Secondly, The scope of these interim measures is far-reaching and encompass all generative AI platforms, irrespective of their origin or use within China. This implies that foreign entities developing or offering such services to Chinese users will also be subject to these regulations. There are also specific requirements for those providing generative AI tools, such as the mandatory acquisition of a government license, the implementation of robust security procedures, and limitations on the utilization of generative AI services for certain purposes. Let's dive deeper. Licensing. Under the regulations, companies must obtain a license from the government to provide generative tools driven by artificial intelligence. This license will be granted to companies that meet certain criteria, such as having a good track record of compliance. Security measures. Service providers must also implement a number of procedures, including the collection and verification of user identities, having a system in place to remove content that violates laws and regulations, and using technical measures to prevent the deep faking of videos and audio recordings. Restrictions on use. Companies are prohibited from using their services for certain purposes, such as creating content that is harmful to national security or disruptive to social order. This is an extensive plan, addressing a wide array of issues. These regulations aim to foster responsible development and usage of generative AI technology, emphasizing consumer protection. But many of the requirements, while promoting a responsible ecosystem, may pose challenges for new startups, potentially leading to industry consolidation. Questions also arise regarding information control and censorship. Equally noteworthy is the potential to limit diverse applications of generative AI technology. In essence, these regulations reflect the delicate balance between encouraging innovation, protecting consumers, and addressing broader societal concerns. The implications of these measures will undoubtedly shape the future landscape of generative artificial intelligence in China and abroad, and have a definite impact within the creative industries. On one hand, there's a potential dampening effect of restricting the use of generative AI for specific purposes. These measures may create obstacles for artists and creators to freely experiment with new technologies and express themselves authentically. Consider, for instance, an artist employing AI to create images critical of the government. Such an artist might face challenges obtaining a license or could be compelled to remove their work. Similarly, a musician using generative AI for subversive music might find restrictions on their use of the technology. Conversely, the regulations offer potential benefits by fostering a more structured and predictable environment for creatives. The mandated security measures have the capacity to shield artists and creators from copyright infringement and other forms of abuse. The licensing requirement, if implemented effectively, can ensure responsible and ethical use of the technology. For instance, companies could be required to implement content removal systems for copyright infringement. Additionally, platforms catering to musicians might need systems to prevent the creation of harmful or hateful music. The ultimate impact on the creative industries hinges on the fair and reasonable implementation and enforcement of these regulations. If executed judiciously, they could stimulate innovation and safeguard artists. However, arbitrary or restrictive implementation may have the opposite effect, stifling creativity and inflicting harm on the very industries they aim to protect. As this saga unfolds, it will be crucial to observe the application of these regulations and ensure a balanced impact on the vibrant landscape of creative expression. These groundbreaking policies represent a pioneering step in the global landscape of AI governance. China's proactive approach, spanning from the 2017 Next Generation Artificial Intelligence Development Plan to the recent interim measures introduced by the Cyberspace Administration of China, reflect a comprehensive effort to balance the potential benefits of AI with ethical considerations and legal compliance. As these regulations are still in their early stages, their true impact on the creative industries will become clearer over time. The fair and judicious implementation and enforcement of these regulations will be crucial in striking a balance between fostering innovation and addressing valid concerns about privacy, safety, and fairness. Ethical considerations should remain at the forefront to ensure a balanced and fair approach that supports creativity and expression while addressing societal concerns. The world will be closely watching as China navigates the evolving landscape of generative AI regulation. As we conclude, I want to thank you for taking this plunge with us into the intricate world of China's trailblazing efforts to begin regulating the use of artificial intelligence. The fusion of technology and creativity is a fascinating dance, and these regulations are setting the rhythm for the rest of the world. If you found this exploration intriguing, don't forget to tap the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to AI Artistry Lab for more mind-bending content at the crossroads of artificial intelligence and creativity. What are your reflections on China's approach to regulating generative AI? How do you anticipate these measures will influence the creative industries, both locally and globally? Let's ignite a conversation down below. And, as always, hit that notification bell to stay in the loop for our coming voyages into the ever-evolving landscape of AI-generated art, music, and literature. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep innovating, and keep embracing the limitless possibilities of artificial intelligence.